Hello, everyone. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Reset Talk with LT Dixon. I'm excited to have you here. OMG, it is about to really be live. This is a conversation that you don't want to miss. I am really excited to have a guest with me tonight who is going to just be phenomenal. Yeah, I absolutely love when I have amazing people on live with me. And so I am going to, I want to bring him on with this reset conversation. So I'm just waiting for Mr. Inspire to come on with me. So can you hear me?
I can hear you.
What is all right, so before it even gets started, okay, let me just, before we even get into this conversation, I want to, one, welcome everyone to Reset Talk with LT Dixon. I am LT Dixon. I am a master transformational speaker. I'm also a reset strategist. I help individuals hit the damn button on their life and make shit happen. But it's not about me tonight. Tonight, it is about someone that I absolutely admire. It's about someone who has changed the game, who has had a phenomenal story of how he reset his life, like seriously reset his life, was on his way to a prison sentence of what, life, and did some time, came home, and actually shifted the game. Shifted the game. I have with me one of my good reset partners, my a hero in his own right, Mr. Inspire himself with me. It took me everything to get Mr. Inspire on a reset with me. I had to call him about 9 times, but that's neither here nor there. I want you to join me in celebrating such an amazing change agent who has stepped into his time and who is making shit happen. Mm-hmm. Welcome to Arkevious Armstrong.
Hey, you got music? You got any music for me? I need music, man. I need to come in. I need to hear music. That's how I like to come in. We need to reset this. I need you to play some music on your end. I don't care what you got to do, but you're gonna introduce me. You're gonna introduce me to come in the right way. I need some music.
Okay, so what will happen is when Facebook mute our whole conversation because of the music that you want, don't say nothing. But I got something for you. So Mr. Armstrong, thank you so much. Thank you. Let me just tell you that I don't take your time lightly, nor would you let me take your time lightly, because you're just that important, Mr. President. But I'm excited to have you up here with me because yes. I know a little bit of your story. I know a little bit. Hold on, I got something for you. Hold on, y'all. I got to give him something because he ain't gonna be right unless I give him what he wants.
Yeah, listen. I'm the whole package. You can't come with me playing. I'm the whole package.
Okay.
Do you not see my backdrop? Do you not see my backdrop? Listen.
I got something.
Ain't nobody you done interviewed, did your live, had a backdrop. Yeah, I see that. Look, I'm the first one. I'm the first one with a backdrop. I'm making everybody.
Go right. Welcome, Ty. Welcome, Ty. Welcome, Akita. Y'all don't want to miss this conversation. This is an extraordinary story. I like bringing on with me people who are making a difference. Hold up, I got something for you. Hold up, dang it. Listen, so I have with me one of my favorite people in the world. If you don't know who he is, let me introduce him again. For everybody that's joining on, do me a favor. Why don't you share this out, right? Share this out as a watch party so that other people can come on and watch it, and they can be bigger than what it is right now.
Yeah.
So if you're just me, I'm LT Dixon, and I have with me none other than the renowned worldwide speaker, inspirationist, Mr. Armstrong.
That's
I was
me.
trying to get Kanye West, but he didn't come up. So we're gonna have to
No,
get
you
him coming.
fine. You know I gotta give
Okay.
you a hard you know I gotta give you a hard time. You fine.
Okay. So, Mr. Armstrong, let's just have a conversation about who you are. Like, I would do your bio no justice at all. Just trying to tell how amazing you are. Um, but I wanted to really give those who are jumping on right now. I want them. One of the things I want y'all to take away from this is that you can reset your life at any time.
Right.
Anytime. It does not matter what life has for you. You can reset your life at any time. You actually have a documentary of your life.
Right.
Of your life. Let's talk about that documentary and what brought that documentary on.
We
And then
actually
we're
we,
back.
we're actually going to be filming the second documentary before the summer ends. I mean before spring hits. So two is on its way. The two is going to be better than number one. Actually, it's so much in my first documentary that was left out. I think 3 years ago, I think I was kind of like being timid on what I put out. And
Yeah.
now I think there's so much I've done since then, and so much I've accomplished, and so many new levels that I've actually gotten to now that I feel like this will be the best one to really put out. So working on that. I think the first one is called Fight Through, and it's just a documentary about my childhood. It's like really good information about where I grew up and the things that I went through, from foster care to group homes, all the way up to federal prison. Some of the things to facing life sentences at 13 years old, facing a life sentence, 35 years to life at the age of 19. Man, I just feel like that, the documentary Fight Through, it shows you just a glimpse. It really gives you, it don't even give you the depth of a lot that I went through, and I think that was not my decision. It was the one who produced it, his decision, which was a good idea, because he was like, "Don't give out everything in the documentary. Leave them something to expect when they hear you speak, and you be able to share more." And it made more sense, but it was just so much that we talked about in the first documentary. Then when it finally got finished, I was like, "Wow, it's a lot that wasn't on there." So this part two, this is gonna be real good. It's gonna be real good.
Okay. So let's talk about that. You are from Gastonia.
I am from a small county called Gastonia, North Carolina, aka Gas House, right outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. But I've been in Charlotte, North Carolina for like 20 years.
For 20 years. Okay. And so in Gastonia, um, is your hometown. That has a lot of history for you. Share a little
Yes.
bit about history and what life was like growing up in Gastonia.
Life was, well, again, in the early 80s, it was a lot of great things happening. I mean, a lot of people can contest to that. In the early 80s, it was about partying, having fun, for my mom and my father. But for me, it was a lot of things to get into, a lot of abuse. At that time, it was a lot of drug abuse in my family. My mom was a user, my father was a user, and they chose to pursue the drug rather than being a father or being a mother. You know what I mean? I think at the end of the day, when you look at it, she probably could have been the best mother she could possibly be if she was not on drugs, vice versa with my father. But, you know what I mean? Nevertheless, I think that what I experienced, it was due to the fact of my mom drug addiction, you know what I mean? And so from being in foster homes and group homes, and molestation and abuse, physically, emotionally, by my father, it left me this I want to say this fragile little kid who um, expressed himself through frustration and anger. So it was a lot of things that I did, the way it was projected from me, as if though that I was a troubled kid, but deep inside it was a lot of brokenness.
Right, right, right. When was the first time that you actually got in trouble with
11.
the law?
I was 11 years old. Called myself trying to break into a store to steal some chips and candy. I didn't know nothing about alarms, and I literally climbed on top of the roof of a store and was trying to go down the, I don't know what it was, but the alarm went off. That store got surrounded. They locked me. They put me in handcuffs and took me home. Yeah, I was the first time when I ever got in trouble. But little did they know that I wasn't just a typical 11-year-old. I was like, wow, so I can do whatever I want to do. And the only thing you got to do is bring me back home. So they opened up a can of worms on that one.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So that was
Hey,
the first time.
hey, can you see my backdrop though? Is it clear?
Oh, stop. Listen, you're so crazy. I love that backdrop as a matter of
Hey,
fact.
check out the shirt. Check out the shirt. Just
So
do you.
let me just do a plug real quick. If I know that y'all seen the shirt that I wear that says I don't make
I don't make
excuses.
excuses. I make results.
That is Mr. Arkevious Armstrong shirt, one of his signature shirts. I actually have another one that says don't quit, do it.
Don't quit.
That was one of his shirts actually, and now he has a new product out. Just do
Just
you.
do you.
So
Just do
you can
you.
go give the website real quick.
www.arkinspireshop.com. www.arkinspireshop.com.
Awesome. So I'm gonna put that in. I'll put that in a
Thank
few
you.
minutes. So let's talk about. So that was the first time that you were arrested. How many times after that were you arrested?
20.
In your years. No, in your 10.
I my last I want to say me being arrested almost 20 times. Almost 20 times.
As
Um,
a youth.
oh, as a youth, man, I mean, I understood it wasn't too much they can do to me. You know what I mean? So every day I left the house, I was almost coming back home in a police car. You know what I mean? So I was very conniving. I was very mischievous. I was a hard-headed little kid. But I understood it wasn't nothing nobody can do. That's the decision I made up in my head, that I'm gonna do whatever I want to do and can't nobody tell me what to do. And so when you look at the youth today, that's the mindset they have. Their mindset is like, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do and can't nobody tell me what I want to do. And so I had to learn the hard way. And just so happened that with that type of attitude that I walked around with, it landed me incarcerated, facing a life sentence for attempted murder charge.
Let's talk about that.
Oh
A life.
Lord, almost a life sentence. I was facing, yeah, I was facing
At
24
what
years of
age?
life. Huh?
What age were you at
Thir
when
I
this
was
happened?
I was 13 years old. I was 13 years old, facing 24 years to life. Yeah,
For attempted murder charge.
for attempted murder charge. And something that I feel like it was the norm for me. We elaborate a lot about the nature, the environment, the culture of the Black community. But one thing we must understand is, regardless of how we look at the Black community, some of the things that the Black community deal with on a day-to-day basis is their norm. So when they see illegal things happen in the Black community, when they see crimes happen in the Black community, when they see stuff like that happen, it's the norm for people to see it, opposed to people who ain't never lived in it, ain't never experienced, don't even know what it's like. So from the outside looking in, you will look at that and be like, wow, like that's crazy or whatnot. But what I mean, people who live in it every single day, I grew up in it. My father was violent, my mother was violent, my brothers was violent. They sold drugs. I saw shootings every single day. It wasn't nothing for me to walk outside and see a shootout. It wasn't nothing for me to see somebody's house getting kicked in. I saw that all of my life growing up. So you got to also take in consideration that I was the baby boy out of 6 kids. And so what I looked at as a role model, as a hero, was my older brothers who was drug dealers, and they had the fancy cars, the jewelry, the clothes, the girls, and as well as the reputation and the respect from other people. So I wanted that same image. And so I did whatever I wanted to do just to have that image, opposed to what my brother and them had.
Wow, wow. So at 13, you were facing 24 years to life. And so you actually beat that charge?
Oh no, no, no. I was facing 24 years of life if they would have bound me over to adult court at 13. And so some of the things what they're dealing with in North Carolina right now, they're trying to pass the bill to where they can stop charging juveniles with adult sentences. And so if they would have bound me over to adult court, I would have got all of that time. But by them keeping me in juvenile court, they gave me the max sentences, which was 4 years. And I did every bit of that.
So you did 4 years from 13. So at 17.
Yeah, I got out at 17. Got out at 17.
Okay. How was life at 17? Did you learn?
Oh, I ain't learned nothing. I ain't learned nothing. You hear me? Let me tell you something. I came back with the mentality of I'm going to keep the same reputation that I had before I left. And so I'm going to let you know that Arkevious is back with the same attitude, with the same mentality, but 10 times worse. And so what we got to understand, this is LT, this is why I love dealing with young teens. A lot of people like to deal with youth, but they like to deal with the youth from the ages 10 and down because you can control them. You can tell them to sit down, they can sit down. You know what I mean? But when you start getting in them 13, 14, 15-year-old kids, when they're going to buck back, and see, with me, I understand the nature of the mindset of these young people, and I understand where they come from. And so my approach and my respect for them always allowed me to approach them, and they listen to me. So, no, I came home was 10 times worse. I got around the same people, the same mindset. I was doing the same thing, committing crimes after crimes, doing different drugs, and I mean, like I was going 120 straight to hell. You know what I mean? I was like, for real, like I was bad. I was worse than I was before.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you come home after doing 4 years, and your mentality when you left, when you came home, was when you went to prison, well, juvie, was when I come home, I'm gonna make a better representation for me.
Well,
and
you know,
so,
when
for 10 times.
I come home to an environment that was the same before I left. So it ain't like I come home to a structure. I came home to the same thing that I left with, you know what I mean? So I don't know nothing else to do but reflect back into my old habits, into my old ways, and something that I was comfortable with and that I understood. So I didn't grow up. You gotta, again, and let's just reflect on this for 1 second. What we gotta understand is many of these young people, like myself growing up, not saying that these kids are terrible kids. These kids don't have structure. These kids don't have discipline. These kids don't have a balance. You know what I mean? So when you don't have balance or structure or guidance, you're going to have destruction. And so what we're seeing is destruction from the kids, but we got to understand to look back and don't focus on the youth, but we got to focus on the foundation. Like, what's the root? What's the cause? And I always tell people, like, even if you knew me as a kid growing up and you saw all the things that I've done, I dare you or challenge whomever to go to the household and you walk in my house and you leave out and you tell me, what did you see? You know what I mean? It was days that I was in the house by myself as a kid. You know what I mean? 12 years old, 13 years old, got to feed my